What's up? What's up, everybody?
We're going to do part 2. We got a lot of feedback from you guys from part 1 of sharing our emotional healing journey yesterday. Thank you for that. Thank you guys for just commenting back and answering. Some of you shared a little bit of your story with us. We appreciate that. And we want to continue to just share our story with you because we feel like when you hear somebody else's journey, it helps make sense of your own. And I think there's a lot more people are affected by this than maybe they realize, and they just haven't known what to call it.
Boom. So check this out. A couple things here. If you guys feel like this is a topic that that resonates with you, hit me right now with a hashtag resonates. Hashtag resonates if you feel like this resonates with you all. Also,
even if you're watching the replay, if you're not live, go ahead and hit it because we can see that too.
That's right. And also follow, like you can follow, like so that, because we're going to turn this into a series just based on the amount of feedback that we got. We are absolutely going to turn this into a series. So if you want to, be notified when we go live or when we launched it, each episode or whatever, hit the follow us when we go live button. I think Facebook's got something like that. Insta's got, I think it's got something like that as well. And we'd love to have you guys join us along this journey so you guys can kind of see. My thing is, I call my style of leadership and influence the dirty underwear style of leadership.
Lovely. It's a lovely title.
But here's the thing is, for me, I always love learning from people's good stuff and bad stuff, right? I learn from everything, and I know that not everyone's perfect. I'm like, what is it, Big Paul, Ranger Pablo in the Bible, Ranger Paul, right? Of all the sinners, I am the chief. So listen, I've got lots, and so I know my prayer is that when you all are watching and hearing some of this stuff, that you guys can learn from our issues, right? I think there's a lot of fake stuff on social media. This is
not
gorgeous.
This is real life.
We're gonna keep it super real.
So today we thought we would share a little bit of our story of kind of how we found ourselves needing emotional healing and needing to really work on this and kind of where it started for each of us. So I'll let you go first.
Boom. So check this out. I was born at an early age.
Oh boy. That's going to take a long time.
You guys got that?
We better hurry this story up.
So my dad's in heaven. So he went to heaven probably 9 years ago, right, mi amor? 9 years ago. And my mom is still kicking like Jet Li. She is amazing. She is in her 70s and we call her the Tasmanian Angel because she has so much energy. And she's Hispanic, little teeny Hispanic lady. And my dad was a big, giant teddy bear, emergency room doctor. And then I've got an awesome sister, another sister who's in heaven. And the way that we handled our issues at home, we did very high volume discussions, right? We did there was lots of yelling in my house. But ironically, my dad never got into the arena with us. He never raised his voice. He was very chill.
But he just kind of opted out.
There were 2 times that he did, and that left.
That's a different story.
That'll be part of the journey, but just a different episode. But the rest of us, my mom, my sister, myself, we would just elevate. Well, here's what happened. Here's what would happen. And again, I've got amazing parents. I thank God for my mom.
Elena.
I thank God for my dad. My mom's amazing. My dad's amazing. And, but again, dad's in heaven. But what would happen is in the midst of our conversations I call them intense family fellowships, what would happen is whenever we'd be done with our argument, our intense family fellowship, we would just kind of stomp off into our respective corners of the room or the house for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour later, 2 hours later, and come back into the kitchen as if nothing had happened, right? Literally like nothing ever happened. So in terms of conflict resolution, what kind of conflict resolution was there? This much conflict resolution. So we would never discuss what our issues were, right? Because, and God forbid, me like, oh, okay. So, so a couple things happened. So our emotions were never affirmed, right? So they were never like right, wrong, or indifferent.
Sorry, that's our dog. He's eating stuff off the
Can you
ottoman.
move him or put him away somewhere? So that's one thing. Our emotions were never affirmed. But the second thing is we would never discuss them, right? We would never discuss them. Well, unbeknownst to me, there are a truckload of consequences when you don't acknowledge your emotions and feelings. Now hey, parents, how many of y'all are parents out there? If you're a parent, do hashtag I'm a parent. Hashtag I'm a parent if you're a parent. If you're a parent, this is a very critical topic for you so that you don't continue on these things into future generations.
Because you will. That's
exactly
the
right.
bottom line. With this kind of thing, it's like a silent virus that you don't know that you have. You don't know that you're passing on because you don't know that you're doing this. You don't know what you're not doing, right? That you could or should be doing. And that's just is what happens. It's how this kind of gets to go from one generation to the next. You just pass it on because nobody realizes what's happening.
And I know dudes that, I don't, I don't ever cry, or, I don't ever express my emotions. Well, that's total BS, right? That's total, because everybody does. Everybody, even me, who, again, I didn't even know that I even had emotions and feelings growing up as a kid and all this kind of stuff.
So what did that look like for you as an adult then?
Here's what happened as a result of kind of how we did stuff in my house. I became an emotional stuffer because we never talked about emotions. We never talked about how anyone was feeling. There was no conflict resolution. And so I just stuffed emotions. So much so that here's what that looks like is literally, and this isn't like, oh man, I learned this lesson like 10 years ago. Guys, this is like, this is
yesterday? Last week?
This is recent stuff here, okay? So I am like literally showing you the junk in my trunk here. So, and I'm overcoming it, right? I'm working on it. I'm in the process. But, Kathy would be like, hey, Noble, so what do you feel like? So she can tell 2 or 3 days. And what happens is this, when I start processing my emotions, or when my emotions start to get bigger than what I can handle, what happens is I go into this my man cave, right? That's how I justified it. Well, babe, I'm just, I've got to just do some thinking, whatever. Well, her love language is communication. Well, when I pull away emotionally, in the past, it has jacked her all up. And so that adds to it. And she'll say, well, no, but what's your deal? Why are you behaving this way? And I'm like, behaving what way, right? And so now we get into this intense family fellowship. And so
what he didn't realize was what was going on under the surface. Because again, it's kind of like if you imagine, you guys remember the movie Gremlins way back in the day? This is back. I'm showing how old we are. Maybe from the 80s or 90s, the movie Gremlins. So they were cute and furry, right? Until you like got them wet, or you fed them after midnight, or something weird like that, and then they turn into something ugly. And they come back and they bite you. Well, that's what happens with feelings and emotions that are not acknowledged, that are not processed, that are not understood. So what Noble was doing is kind of shoving all of those into the basement and just ignoring them and pretending they didn't exist. Well, guess what? They down there in the basement, they turned into gremlins and they came back up at, when he would get triggered by something. Because again, like we said yesterday, emotions and feelings and pain that are not transformed will be transferred. They don't just go away. They come back, and they usually come back in a very destructive manner. And
the thing is, look, and this is for dudes, this is for lottie-dottie everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care.
Here's Elena.
Everybody has emotions. Déjame eso, mi amor. Un beso. Un beso. Vamos, un beso. Everybody has emotions, right? So all you hardcore dudes, right? I got tattoos. I got tattoos. I got hairy chest. So all you big hairy men out there, manimals and stuff, like everybody's got emotions, right? It's like, so it's not a matter of, oh, well, I'm so tough. My emotions don't affect. No, listen. Everybody's emotions and feelings affect you and impact you. And it affects and impacts how you view the world and how you interact with others. Up to and including and especially those that you love. And here's what really became frustrating for me, to be honest with you, is I got to a place recently within the last couple years where it's like, man, I was not able to control or hide or stuff my emotions anymore. They were bubbling up at times that I didn't want them to, and with people that I didn't want to blast, if you will. And so the relational consequences and the relational ripple effects that was causing was terrible. And I was like, it was frustrating me because it was like I was turning into the Hulk and I didn't know how to stop the transition into the Hulk.
Not only that, so that was how it was affecting you relationally, but it was infecting and affecting you internally just with how you were feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to kind of wrap it up here and we're going to provide some more stuff tomorrow. Potentially, right? Tomorrow, we'll figure it out.
So I'll come on. Let's see, how long have we been on here? We want to keep these videos kind of short. So what we'll do tomorrow is I'll share my story and kind of where it came from. But I do want to share a quick resource real quick because some of you guys have been asking for resources on this topic. We have several of them, but I'm just going to mention one right now, and maybe we'll talk about some of them as we go. This book right here, I know it's backwards. It's called Running on Empty. The author's name is Dr. Janice Webb, and this book here really helped give us language for this. It helped us identify kind of where it came from. It gave us awareness, and it's been huge. It's given us opportunity to have great conversation with each other, even with our daughter, and it's really helping us work through this. So the big thing that you need to know is that if you're feeling the effects of this in your life, that you're not alone. Like, this was comforting for us, okay? It's not because we're crazy. There's not something wrong with us. It's not that we're just broken people. No, it's just that there's some things that we had to learn, and that it can be healed and it can be changed. And those of us who are parents, again, we can change this for our children going forward. So I'm looking forward to sharing my story with you guys tomorrow. And yeah, maybe we'll turn this into a whole series or something. Yeah, so tag friends if you feel like this topic would resonate or help them out, or share this. We'd really, that'd be great too if you feel like this would bless or benefit somebody else. And look at your own lives, assess your own lives. What I'm super stoked about is that, our kid is learning this stuff at her age so that she doesn't have to learn this stuff at our age. And she's picking up so fast. So fast.
That's exactly right. And honestly, because we've got there's exercises that we're going to share with you all in future episodes and stuff that have been game changer for us. So tune in, again, follow us or however you do it when it says if they go live again, follow them or whatever. If you want to hear more, give us like a hashtag, tell me more. I don't know, something like that. It just helps us to know, is this helpful? Because if it is, we'll share more. If it's not, maybe we'll cut it all short. But and if you have questions, we can respond and some of the answer maybe some of your questions as well with how we're applying. Because it's one thing to have a book, right? It's great, awesome, but to have somebody that's maybe a little bit further down the road than you are in this journey, this EQ journey, this emotional intelligence journey, is also very, very helpful. And here's the thing too. Oh, this is something else I want to share with you guys. We've gone to spiritual counseling. We've gone to marriage counseling. We've got this is my 2 cents. If you're not doing that, I think you're crazy. Yes. Right? Because here's the deal. This is one of my things. One of my biggest things is this. Name the biggest professional athletes that you know. LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. I know he's retired, but Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Tom Brady. Peyton Manning retired, but you think about the top athletes in any sport, in every sport, every single one of them, they don't just have one coach or mentor, they have multiple coaches and mentors. So if the greatest athletes in the world have multiple coaches and mentors, why wouldn't we?
And that's just for a sport. That's not even for what I believe to be the really important things of life, like your own mental and emotional health, your relationships, your marriage, your family, your parenting, like totally different ball game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I totally encourage you guys to if you don't have a tribe, find a tribe, reach out to mentors, reach out in whatever area you're wanting to work on, reach out. Listen, it's guilt is only helpful to convict you, to learn a lesson, and to change behavior. Beyond that, it's destructive. I had paralysis in my life. Literally, I was paralyzed in my life for a decade because I allowed guilt to rear naked choke me on a daily 24/7 basis. And so by God's grace and his love and through the tribe that we invested into, God worked through a number of different people to help, give me some tremendous help and breakthroughs, and us as well. So, man, life is too short to be paralyzed. Life is too short
to play small.
Life is too short to not share the gifts that God has given you with other people.
To be disconnected from people, to feel like you are on the outside looking in, to feel like you're not good enough. Like, no, you don't have to walk with that. You don't have to live with that.
That's right. So God bless you guys. And again, share this with other folks. Tag your friends in here. We want this to be a blessing to anybody that gets an opportunity to hear this so you guys can learn from our journey. God bless you all.